Okay, go.
Okay, this is for y'all who are watching the change in M video. Now, when we talk about M, we are talking about your equation y equals mx plus b. Remember, M represents your slope. Now, these are a few notes you can take down so you can help you teach your partner on Monday. Now, if the number, not the negative, so if it has a, on your M, if it has a negative, you do not worry about it. You can hide your finger. So if you have a negative 4x plus 3, you can hide the negative. You just look at the number. If the number increases, the graph will become more steep. Now, steep has to do with it going more up and down. If the number, again, not the negative, so you hide the negative, if it decreases, the graph becomes less steep, which means it'll become more flat. Now, the negative is important. The negative has to do with flipping the graph. So if you have a negative, then the line will go down from left to right. If you do not have a negative, which means your slope is positive, notice here, it is a positive 4, then your graph would go upwards from left to right. Sorry, can't talk. Okay, so that's what the negative does. The negative only changes the direction of the graph. The actual number will make the graph become steep or less steep. So let's go through a few examples to help you teach. So example number 1. We're going to start off with our parent function. Your parent function, remember, is y equals x. That parent function is like the skeleton. It's the base function. Okay, that's as simple as it gets. So if we look at y equals x, remember, in front of x, there is always an invisible 1. So if we just look at the number from 1 to 2, is that number increasing or decreasing? Well, it is increasing. Therefore, our graph would become more steep because it is increasing. So look at number 2. Again, there's always an invisible 1. From 1 to negative 3. What's happening? Now, remember, we don't care about this negative, so we hide the negative. So we just look at the number. So from 1 to 3, is that increasing or decreasing? Well, the number is increasing, so, gosh, I can't talk. The number is increasing. Therefore, the graph will become more steep. The graph would also change directions. So the graph would also flip because it went from a positive to a negative. Example 3. As always, there is a number, visible 1 there. Now, if you just look at the number from 1 to 1/2, is that increasing or decreasing? Well, that would be decreasing because you're going from a whole number to 0.5. Therefore, your graph would become less steep. Example 4. From 1 to negative 3/4. Again, we hide our negative and we just look here. 1 to 3/4. Is that increasing or decreasing? That is also decreasing. So again, it would be less steep. Now here's where it gets a little bit challenging when they actually both have numbers. So if you go from 3 to negative 5, well, again, we hide our negative. From 3 to 5, is it increasing or decreasing? Well, it is increasing, so the graph would be more steep. From 1/2 to 2, basically 1/2 is like 0.5, so from 0.5 to 2, That is increasing. So our graph would be more steep. And our last example, from -4 to -3. Again, we hide our negatives. So from 4 to 3, is that increasing or decreasing? That is decreasing. So it would be less steep. You can also plug these into a calculator. I'll admit, I forgot the calculator. So we can show y'all how to plug those in on Monday if needed. Otherwise, you can really just tell by the numbers. If you have any questions, come in Monday morning and you can ask for clarification. Enjoy your weekend.
Bye.